There's a lot of topics that require some research that I'd really love to get into on this channel, but I need your feedback. I need you to tell me kind of what you're looking for. So let me explain. Hey, there's this Perch. I've done a lot of videos kind of on the business, kind of behind the scenes looks at how things are going. I continue. I'm growing subscribers, of which I'm deeply appreciative and stunned that growth is happening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's very I'm humbled by the response because this channel was always meant to be kind of some explanations. It wasn't meant to be growth. It was meant to kind of educate and enlighten and say, hey, here's something to think about, and in hopes to actually make the arguments of people stronger. One of the things that really irritates me is that I see people online making an argument about a problem with the comic business or so on, and the heart of their argument is good. The base of their argument is sound, and I want that argument to go somewhere. I want people to pay attention to it, but they layer on nonsense. They layer on things that aren't true or a misunderstanding of the business. And so people focus on that and not their core argument. And then it gets lost. They get kind of ignored or laughed at and it goes away. And I think that's a tragedy. And I would specifically call upon the really big channels. If you are Ethan Van Sciver, if you are Richard Meyer, if you are that umbrella guy, that umbrella is just some guy, umbrella. Shit, I don't, sorry, shouldn't say that. If you're one of these big name YouTubers, please, please, please start throwing out some facts. You talk all the time, but start throwing out some boring facts. It will not get you big numbers, but people will listen to it. And then when they're going out and they're making their arguments out on in the space, they're going to be armed. You're giving them weapons to go. That's probably a bad analogy. You're giving them facts that are going to help their argument get stronger, and that helps us all. So please, the big name people, either there's a couple YouTubers. Ash does a great job in this regard too. There's a bunch of people who put out really good facts. So don't do me. I'm not looking for promotion out of this. I'm not begging for clicks. So you cannot mention me in the slightest, but mention somebody or bring them on as guests or get some of these facts out in the world. It's not as juicy. I acknowledge that. And therefore you're not going to make as much money off that one video, but you will help the cause. You'll help the cause of actually making some change here. And I think that's what we would all like. So please, please, please use your audience to kind of promote things once in a while. Be really good. Anyway, back to the original topic at hand. I've got a lot of things kind of in the backlog that we want to do videos on, but they require some research, and that's fine. And I'm not sure what people really want to hear about. So I'll throw a couple out. What I'd really appreciate is some comments of what works, what you'd like. If you want to just say all of them, that's fine. But would really like to know kind of where you'd like it steered. So one topic is around distribution and kind of the world before Diamond and how that world worked. The big fragmented world of Capital City, one I dealt with a lot, or there was dozens of distributors, and kind of how that all worked, why they came together, why they failed. That whole topic would be happy to get into. Another one is around imprints. So Vertigo is what a lot of people kind of talk about because that's been the one that's hung on for a long time. But what about Marvel Max or Epic or some of these other imprints that you don't hear as much about that produce some really amazing books? I mean, Epic from Marvel produced some amazing things. I think that was kind of, I'd compare it in format to what is currently DC Black. It was usually a little bit more adult content in there. And more prestige paper, and it was a nice collection of books. So, would you like to hear more about those? I can certainly do more reviews. I typically don't love to be in the business of doing the current day of comic review, usually because I'm busy selling comics or doing work. So it's like I can't be. A bunch of people will flood on and immediately get some reviews out, and they're often very good reviews. And why be yet another review of comics? Although I wish I was still doing Deceased. I was, an audience of one. I found it very amusing for myself, but poking at deceased, as Stephen King's The Cell. I don't know. That always made me laugh. Anyway, would you like to see more reviews? Old comics, new comics, things, hidden gems, um, that kind of thing. Would you like to see more of those? I have interviews. So I mentioned this for a long time. I have a bunch of interviews in the bank. I need to cut them. I need to do a few more. I get hung up in the weirdest thing. I did this for a commission. It's a commission, free commission, where I promised somebody that I would do a picture, and then I got busy and it became difficult, and then I got kind of intimidated that I wanted to do the picture well, so it just stretched on and on and on, and so it didn't get done. But in that process, I refused to do other commissions. I didn't want to do other art because I made a promise to get this one done. So I didn't want to have things hop in the line. So I've got some interviews in the bank, some really good ones, I think, with some good people. But I did make two promises to do interviews with other people. And until I do those, I don't want to launch them. So interviews are coming, but let me know if you're really excited about those. Uh, are you interested in kind of the, either how to get started making a comic, or who you can talk to, what publishers are open, how you make a pitch, what's a pitch deck, all those kinds of things? I can go to those topics. The other one is, if you're trying to, I already did a video on this, but if you're trying to sell your comics, or you're trying to, from the collector standpoint, how do you get a valuable library for yourself? What's the best way to kind of assemble that work? That portfolio of comics that could make you money. I can go into that. Can tell you some more funny stories over the years. I told a story about kind of comic book store horror stories that a lot of people asked for, but then didn't really watch. So that may or may not be of interest to you. I don't know. So I'm fishing for topics a little bit. In particular, the topics that I need to actually do some research on, that I need to or spend some heavy time on. I really enjoy talking like this. Just a topic comes to mind. It's just a chat. I will be doing a live chat, probably maybe before this airs. I don't know. I will be doing a live chat soon, and that'll be kind of a rambly chat. What I need to do, and this is where I am a novice at this. If it's not clear, if I have fooled you all with this illusion that I know what I'm doing, let me dispel that illusion. I do not know what I'm doing. Where YouTube and that kind of stuff is concerned. So what I'd love to do is a live chat where I could just bring people in and out if they want to just join. Not set anything up ahead of time with guests, but just hey, let's have a chat. And if some people want to come in and talk, that's good. And if that leads some people coming on and just being crazy, and I have to cut it off, and okay, then I'll learn a lesson. That'll be fine. I don't care. I'm trying to have a good time. I think the key with all these, if you haven't noticed in the video, I'm having a good time. So I hope you're having a good time. The goal is not to make money. The goal is not to get a big subscriber count. The goal is just to, as I mentioned, have a good time, chat a little bit. If I have some goals, it's just to kind of de-escalate a little bit of the kind of the breathless panic that seems to go on at times where this business is concerned, and inform. And that's why I go back. I'm going to repeat what I said at the beginning. You big YouTube channels, please. Um, I will do it. I'll send you a bulleted list of just some basic facts that will help help immensely the arguments that are made. And then you don't credit me. Again, I'm not looking for anything out of this other than arming people. Again, I hate to say it that way again, because there's threats of violence and everything else. Not saying that, just giving people information so that when they go into these arguments and they go into these discussions, they've got a few facts on their side that can really help. So anyway, that's it. Short little video. Looking for help. Let me know what it is you like. There's some beeping going on in the background. There you have it. Like, subscribe, notify, or don't. Again, just listen or don't. Whatever you feel like. Thank you for hanging out with me today.